and welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we are so excited to be introducing our brand new die, Giant Hello Sunshine. So let's go ahead and check it out. This giant hello sunshine is so cute and sweet. I love the scripty hello on top of the word sunshine, and I love that there's some different ways that you can get some cool looks out of this die. So you'll see that the die creates kind of like these little skinny interior letters, and so you could leave those letters in and use the die just like that. You could pop them out and use it like the one we have in white on the left, or you can take the letters and you can actually inlay them into the word sunshine and do some really cool things like rainbow letters or use some really fun bold colors. So we've added some adhesive on the back of the Hello Sunshine, and now we're going to add some adhesive to the back of those little skinny letters that we die cut out of peacock cardstock, and we're going to drop those letters in, just like we were just talking about. And isn't that so pretty? I just love this. I love the idea of using glittered cardstock for this. I love the idea of doing rainbow letters or fun contrasting colors like these classic white, green, and teal lawn fawn colors that we have here in this Hello Sunshine. To add the E in, all we're going to do is add the inlaid E first, and then we can take the center of the E that's going to come from the one cut from white cardstock and then just drop that in. And now you'll see that we have this super cute Hello Sunshine that just makes me smile. So now it's time to create a card with this adorable die. So we're going to start off with the largest of the stitch rectangle dies, which will be 5.5 by 4.25, and we're going to die cut some of this really pretty textured cardstock. Then to add some fun details to it, what we're going to do is stencil with the cloud background stencil. This stencil is a two-step stencil, which I love because the clouds overlap each other. So we're going to layer one of them first, and we're going to be using some Yeti ink, which is a white pigment ink, over top of these clouds. And I love using this pigment ink because it gives you that white fluffy cloud in the sky, but it's also just like a little bit translucent. I don't know, there's just something magical about it. It's also going to pick up some of the texture from the textured cardstock, which I think is really pretty too. So right now we're just going to peel up this stencil, and then we're going to bring in the second stencil, and we're going to line that up, and that's going to fill in the rest of the clouds for our scene. And I just love the big reveal. These clouds are so beautiful. Now to add some texture, we're going to be adding some blue splatters. So we're going to go ahead and take some fish tank ink, which is a nice bright blue, and we're going to smear that onto our acrylic block. Then you can just take a spray bottle with some water, we'll add some water, and we're going to pick that up with our paintbrush and then tap some splatters all over the card. So there, we're actually just going to use the edge of the block to tap against and create these cool little splatters that are going to give some great texture. And right now we are recreating a card by Elena, so thank you so much, Elena, for creating this beautiful card. Next, we're going to work on adding the giant Hello Sunshine to this beautiful background. So we're going to be die cutting this from white cardstock and also Guava Cardstock. And the white cardstock is going to be the main part of our sentiment, and then we're going to use the Guava Cardstock to fill in all of the letters. So we're just going to poke out all of the skinny letters, so those are going to inlay, and then I can save this guava piece of Hello Sunshine for another card because it's a super cute sentiment on its own, even without the little skinny letters inside. So we're going to add some tape runner on the back of the giant Hello Sunshine, and we're going to layer that onto the card. And I love that you can use this one on both landscape and portrait cards. I love how it just kind of fills the whole card and just overlaps the edges just a little bit. Then we're going to add some adhesive to the back of each of the guava letters, and we're going to inlay them into the word sunshine. And I just love this look. I just love the bright, bold pop of color, and there's something that feels so summery about the blue with the clouds and the white and the kind of hot pink. It's just so beautiful. For the E, we're going to inlay the guava letter first, and then we can put the center letter in out of the white cardstock after that. Now here is the Fly High stamp set, which I think is so cute to go along with this giant Hello Sunshine. So we went ahead and stamped and colored and die cut a bunch of the images from the set. We've got the cute little banner, the hot air balloons, and that sweet little elephant that you can put right there in the hot air balloon. I think that's just so cute. Then we're going to take that little banner and layer it over the biggest balloon, and then we can add the balloons into our sky. And I just think this is going to look so cute because the balloons are going to look like they're flying high above in the sky above that cute sentiment. So we can add the smaller balloon and then our hot pink balloon, and we're going to actually layer that one behind the letters a little bit. And there's something about that that kind of brings the sentiment into the whole scene of the card that I think is just so cute and sweet. I think of like the Hello Sunshine has been almost like a sky written over the sky, and now we've got hot air balloons there. For that top balloon, we're actually going to trim off some of the excess so that it feels like if you kept looking up, there might be more and more hot air balloons. Then we're going to add some tape runner onto the back of this, and we're going to add that to a standard size card base that's 5.5 by 4.25. Then for a last little embellishment, we're going to take out this Pico embellisher. It kind of does like these little, almost like enamel dots. And so we're going to add little white dots all around the sky. And there's something that's so pretty about this. I love how Elena does this on a lot of her cards. And it just looks so beautiful. It adds a nice little shiny element and some fun little texture. I just think it looks so adorable and so sweet. And now this card is all done. And I love giant sentiments because they're kind of this big, bold sentiment that's really going to catch someone's eye. And then you can add your favorite stamp set above and come up with such cute designs. And next up, Shari has a beautiful sunshine inspired card for you. So take it away, Shari.
So I'm starting out with the background of my card today. I have some ripe banana, which is the yellow spiffy speckles paper. I've cut this with the largest of the stitched rectangle stackables, so it's going to cover an entire card base, which is 4.25 by 5.5. And then I am layering the sunray background stencil over top of it. So I've just taped the bottom down up there, and then I'm using my magnets for the top. And I have some distress oxide inks that I am going to be using to ink up my background. So I have Rusty Hinge and Wild Honey is my lighter color. And I'm using oxide inks today because I am inking onto a piece of paper that is already colored. I'm starting out with the Wild Honey, and I'm just going to put a layer all over these sun rays. And I'm trying to go in the direction of the rays so that I don't move my stencil or get that ink up underneath that stencil at all. It did shift slightly there, so I'm just straightening it back up. And I'm trying to be very careful to just kind of pull it. I have to move that magnet out of the way for the corner, and I'm just pulling those rays from the bottom towards the top. I'm going to get a good layer of this lighter color kind of all over, and then I'm moving on to Rusty Hinge, which is a little bit darker and kind of orangey, and I'm just putting that at the bottom, so it's a little bit darker at the bottom, and I'll just pull it up into that Wild Honey. So you can see there I have this really fun background with those sun rays, and I have that tone on tone because I started with a piece of yellow paper to start with. Now to kind of soften those harsh edges around the outside edge of this panel, I'm going in with that Wild Honey again and just kind of ink blending the edges, and it just kind of softens that harsh line a little bit. Now I'm pulling out my metallic watercolors and adding some really fine splatters, and I'm focusing those along the top, kind of like those splatters are flung out into those rays of the sun, and I'm not focusing any on the bottom. I'll set that aside to dry, and then I'm moving on to my sentiment with this new giant Hello Sunshine die, which I just think is so much fun. I am going to cut this from some Storm Cloud cardstock. I'm popping out all my letters, making sure to keep that inside little frame of the E. And then I'm also going to cut this from some white cardstock, and that is how I'm going to get some colors for my letters. So instead of cutting every letter out of a different colored cardstock, this is an easier way to create some colors. So just cut it out of white, and then I'm going to color them with my Copic markers. This also gives you a bit more variety in the colors that you choose because we have a lot more markers than we have cardstock usually. You could also do some blending, but I am not going to do that on this particular card. I am using these colors right here, and these are the colors that I used for the balloons in the Up House card that I created, and I'm just using all of those with the exception of that BV01, so I've left that one out. I do have 8 letters to color here, and this happened to have 9 colors in this rainbow, and I thought that worked really well, so I just pulled out those markers. And you can see that I kept the letters inside the frames, and I'm just using a piece of tape to kind of hold that in place while I color them with my markers. So I'll pop that E back in there and just go over that with the purple. I also have some of the Puffy cloud frames, and I love adding these to cards when you want a cloud but you don't want it to cover up all of your pretty background. So these are really fun to kind of layer in there and give the suggestion of a cloud without it being a big solid white piece. And I think this looks really nice tucked behind this big sentiment. I am using liquid glue to glue these down since they are very thin and delicate. This one kind of matches the curve behind that L, which I think is kind of fun. You'll see that when I glue this sentiment down. And I'm just using my finger to kind of smear that glue around so I just have a thin layer. Now I can use that liquid glue to add glue all over the back of my sentiment. If I had thought ahead of time, I might have cut this out of a piece of cardstock with some double-sided adhesive all over it, which would have made it easier to glue down, but I like my liquid glue. It works really well for this purpose. Then I can go in and add some liquid glue, just kind of tracing the inside of those letters. And then I'm going to use my tweezers to pull up these little skinny letters and drop them into those openings. And you can see how I'm getting this really fun look with all these colorful letters. And then of course I need to make sure that I add that inside frame of the E, which is why I kept that. Now this looks super cute just as it is, but I thought it would be fun to add some glitter to that hello. So I just die cut that from some black glitter cardstock, and I'm just trimming off the pieces of that word sunshine below so that I just get the word hello by itself. And then I can add a little bit of liquid glue on top of that scripty hello and layer that sparkly hello right over top. And I think this is a really fun way to get a different look with your die cuts by layering a different color on top. Now I'm just adding this whole panel to my card base. And then I thought it would be fun to add a little more sparkles, so I pulled out these hearts that were already cut from some gold glitter cardstock and sprinkled those around, and I think they are just the perfect touch to add a little more shimmer and match those gold splatters in the background. And here is my finished card. I love how it turned out with that stenciling in the background and those rainbow letters dropped into that big, bold die cut sentiment.
Oh my goodness, I love that sparkly hello, and then the rainbow letters are so much fun, especially with the contrast with the black giant hello sunshine sentiment. Oh my goodness, I love this so much. And next up we have some incredible cards by the design team, and this one by Audrey, when I saw it, just made me gasp. It is so gorgeous. I love her sunset in the background, and I love the whole beachy theme. I think it's just amazing. This card by Maureen is so beautiful. I love how she added the rainy backdrop die in the background with the clouds and the sun. It's just so pretty, and I love that bright blue with the rainbow sunshine letters. This card by Elise is so sweet. I love the stenciling that she did in the background with the turquoise letters and the little sequins. It's just the perfect little embellishment. I just love how Letitia created the perfect background for the giant Hello Sunshine by using our fall leaf stencil, but with really summery bright colors. This background is so cool, and I can't wait to make one just like it. And then this card by Tammy is so beautiful. I love that the Berry Rainy Day stamp set is a perfect match for the giant Hello Sunshine. Now here Grace created the most beautiful card, and I think it's so cool because as you pull the tab, the sun actually rises. She added the little bees from the brand new Magic Iris Beehive add-on, and this background is just, oh my goodness. I want to make a card just like this. It's so beautiful and so sweet. Next up, we have the card by Elena that inspired us to make ours today. Oh my goodness. I just love the background and the bright pink, and the fly high is so great with the giant Hello Sunshine. This card by Yanea is amazing. She used the washi tape on the left and right to add some bold rainbow color, and I love how she layered it over top of our sunburst backdrop. They are a perfect match together. Mindy was also inspired to use the sunray stencil. She added some really cute little clouds in the background and also did some rainbow letters, and this is just so sweet and happy. And then this card by Melissa is so beautiful, and I love that she used the fly high hot air balloons too. So we cannot wait to see what you guys create with Giant Hello Sunshine, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!